Hi everyone, Canoopsy here, with a bit of a challenge today. Think of a phone that has a beautiful, solid, well-built design, a good-looking display, fast, fluid, very speedy performance, clean software with some great features and functions, and a solid camera experience. And also costs $500. I'll just give you the answer. That phone is the OnePlus 5T. The second you pick up the phone, it has a very strong similarity to the previous OnePlus 5, but has two major design changes. The first being a switch to now a rear fingerprint scanner, and it's still insanely fast, but we also have a new 6-inch 18:9 display that's still 1080p and AMOLED, and honestly, it looks great. You have vibrant colors, solid brightness, and videos, pictures, and whatever you want to watch on this display looks awesome. The real benefit of this change is that you lose a whole bunch of the bezel from the OnePlus 5, and within the same form factor, you gain a bigger screen. You may not be a fan of this change due to having black borders and watching videos and all that kind of stuff, but I think the pros outweigh the cons here. This is a great panel, and having less bezel is always welcome. Right above the display, the front-facing camera now doubles as a face scanner for security. And right off the bat, when this was first announced, I wanted to just cast it off as being a gimmick, but after actually using it, it's great. It's just really fast. It unlocks your phone in less than half the time of the iPhone X with no final swipe up. Now, it's definitely not as secure as the iPhone X, you can't use it for payments or for buying applications or anything, but it's there for unlocking your phone quickly and very conveniently. It doesn't work very well in the dark though, so definitely have your fingerprint scanner as a secondary option. The 5T also still has a headphone jack, which is definitely a very rare occurrence for flagship phones these days, but sadly there's no water resistance or wireless charging. Now, at least in my case, these are definitely some important features, but I don't think they're entirely necessary for the vast majority of users, but it definitely would be nice to have these features maybe in the next phone. And side note, I've been keeping my 5T in this amazing OnePlus sandstone case. It just brings me way back to the OnePlus One, total nostalgia, and it adds a lot of grip to a very slippery, very slick phone. I totally recommend this case. Powering the phone, it's the same specifications as the OnePlus 5, but this phone still feels incredible while using it. I have the 8GB of RAM model, and basically performance is on a whole other level. You tap something, boom! Close it, tap something else, boom! And just performance is lightning quick, and plus with all that extra RAM, even with the 6GB model, you can leave things open in multitasking and revisit them and they'll snap right back into place the way they were when you first originally left them. Performance is very close, very speedy compared to the Pixel 2 XL, and it's also because of OnePlus's very minimal software approach with Oxygen OS. This is not a heavily customized phone, and it's also not a super stock phone either, where you're going to be missing features. It's kind of a happy middle ground and very similar to the Pixel launcher that I haven't really customized or changed anything. It's great as is. Some of those small changes include some settings tweaks for customization, whether it be the look, the functions, the gestures, as well as a new dashboard for quick information and quick application access. One negative though is it didn't actually ship with Android Oreo, the latest version at the time of this video, but that is apparently coming quite soon. So after a full day of usage with this phone, I usually end with around 15 to 25% remaining, which is fairly solid, so a full day of usage is definitely guaranteed. But the real star here for sure is dash charging, and if you've never experienced it before like me, it's life-changing. So basically, the premise is you plug the phone in for a short period of time and you have enough battery life for the rest of the day. Some late nights I forget to plug in my phone before I go to sleep, so I wake up first thing in the morning, I plug this in, and by the time I'm ready to go to class, I pretty much have a full day of usage available on my phone. It's a truly amazing feature that I definitely trade wireless charging for any day of the week. With most affordable phones, the first thing to actually suffer is the camera experience, but OnePlus has done an excellent job to make this actually not the case with its main 16-megapixel f1.7 camera. I am disappointed though they actually ditched the telephoto camera for a 20-megapixel low-light focus camera. I really do miss having that zoom functionality. So basically when you enter a darker environment, the second camera switches on and makes low light shots better, with a higher resolution shooter with bigger pixels. For my testing, it is pretty good, but I think the phone would have benefited a whole lot more with having that telephoto camera for more dynamic, more flexible shots. But since both cameras have the exact same focal length, portrait mode works a bit differently here by actually letting you take pictures without zooming in or cropping shots. It also does a surprisingly good job, more so for objects than people, and you come away with some really great looking depth of field shots. General photo colors are good. There's really not an aggressive color cast either, but there is a slight cooler tint, and sharpness and clarity has gotten a lot better over the last few software updates to make pictures a lot more crisp looking. 8 out of 10 times you're going to come away with a good shot. It's quite impressive. Essentially, if cameras are at all a worry with this phone, they really shouldn't be. It's a surprisingly great camera experience. The selfie camera is somewhat weak with a bit less sharpness than I personally like and some exposure and color problems, but shots are usable. 4K video with no optical image stabilization and just electronic image stabilization looks surprisingly epic, like you're basically floating on a gimbal or something. It's really good. There is a very minor jello effect for some quick movements, and the general look of the footage could be a bit brighter and a bit more detailed, but results can be good. To summarize briefly, I like this phone a lot. It's really a phone for pretty much anyone and ticks off all the right boxes for a solid, easily recommendable phone, all priced a few $100s less than its main competitors. There are much cheaper budget phones, used phones, and other phones in this price range, but this is a great brand new option for a phone that doesn't leave out the flagship stuff but still comes at a good price. But keep this in mind, in the next 6 months, maybe another brand new OnePlus phone that hits the market. You might be a bit jealous too. Know this, if you do buy this phone today, you're getting a great phone regardless. A phone for pretty much everyone at a great price. And thank you for watching.